Hello, Bill. Yes, I can. I'm not sure about the tour, but I know that there will be an event in about, I think, 10 minutes. Yeah. No, no. Well, it won't be here. I just started, but feel free to add in test test out some. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you're in Phoenix, Arizona. No, I'm just moving about with the IFX. Yeah. The special effects, yeah, they're fall. Have you tried the IFX tool? Yeah, if you go to IFX, you can add in all sorts of stuff, animals, um, people, objects. So like this, and you can also resize them. Say, for example, if you want something really big, something really small. Yeah, yeah. No, you don't have to. Yeah, no. Are you using a headset? Okay. Yeah. See, you can as well work on IFX. If you go to menu and get IFX, you should be able to add some stuff in. Give it a try. Yeah, yeah. I'll really see you, Bill.
You got a bit of a drunk wobble. Oh, oh, hey, Bill. Good to see you again. Bill is one of our regulars. We've seen him in a couple of times. Fantastic. Hi, everybody. Perfect. Now I'm just giving it a couple of minutes so everyone can join on and just give it 5 more minutes. And then once we have everybody, we can head through. We can give a bit of tutorial and explanation of all the different functions and systems that we use. And then if there's any questions, say, Bill, you're fairly used to it at this point. I'd say you can nearly run it for us. Okay. And sorry, no, just oh, for Chris. One moment now. I have that here. Aha. So I'll just share this now. And this is an email for one of our business developers, Chris Madsen. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to pop it over here by the couches. Just regarding any of the business kind of side of things, Chris would be the person to speak to. Be a bit more knowledgeable ourselves. Let's share that as well. So, hey, Kirsty, no voice?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, now I can. There we go.
Yeah. Sorry, I had it turned off with the headset.
No problem. Okay. Perfect. And IFX is there. Content locations. Right. Do we have many more joining? Does anyone know, or is anyone waiting on anyone even? No? Okay. Well, we can get started if you guys like. Has any of you used Engage much before? Or do you need a kind of a basic tutorial on movement? Perfect. I know, of course, Bill has, and Brian, I believe you mentioned you've been in it a little bit. But just for anyone who's unsure. Perfect. So for anyone who's new to it, actually, have we got any desktop users? Just before I start talking about hand controllers. Perfect, just in case. So on the desktop, you can use the right click to teleport around the area. For anyone who's using a headset, on your right hand, you should, if you look down, you should see there's a teleport button marked for you. And then if you hold that down, point wherever you like, and let go, and you'll zip straight there. You can use the stick or thumb pad on your right hand to turn, of course, your mouse if you're using a PC. Oh. And the left stick will allow you to walk, but some people find that might make them feel a little bit ill. So if that does happen, you'll get around fine with teleport. And I suppose we'll show off the IFX as well. Has everyone got permissions? They do. I'll give media and recordings as well. So I think Kirsty is grabbing a couple of IFX at the moment as well, but just for your own, or for you guys, if you look in your menus now, menu will be the top button on your right hand, or you can use the tablet on your left hand if you're on a PC. Unfortunately, the Quest doesn't have the tablet at the moment just due to a little bit of issues with how high poly it is. The Quest doesn't like it. And perfect, we're seeing some IFX come out now. But in your menu, you'll see the IFX option. You can grab a 3D model and pull it out. We can scale it up and down. So, tiny palm-sized fox. And I can also share the IFX. So what I'll do is I'll come over to yourself, Brian, if that's okay. And if you use the trigger on the back of your controller, you should be able to take that fox from me.
Hold on, I gotta get my menu out of my way here.
No problem. If you just press the menu button once more, that'll close it down. And now if you use your trigger there, you should be able to grab hold of that fox. There you go. And so that's just perfect for a bit of collaboration, bit of building together. And you can, of course, build up scenes. We also have the snapshot option. So just as an example, I can save a snapshot of everything in the room right now. So we won't lose out on it. And I can load it back up so that I have my own copy of everything we did here. Again, I can scale it all as a single object as well. So if we've built anything, we can save it, share it, move it to new locations. It's perfect that way. Let me see. Have I got a snapshot here? Perfect. So just as an example here, this is what I made myself using the Apollo lander buggy and a couple of chairs. So you can actually have a sit in the lander if you like to have a seat. You just want to aim your teleport at the chair and you'll be seated up. You'll see the little chair icon. Absolutely perfect. Let me have a look now. And we have someone who's a fan of Switzerland. Then we have YouTube support. So I'll get someone to volunteer for me here. Bill. Oh, you're muted at the moment. I'll leave you be if you prefer. So maybe Clement, if you don't mind. In your menu there, you should see an option for media.
Yep, I got that.
And if you go to load media and to video, you'll see a YouTube search box. So you can just give a search and pop on a video for us there.
Okay. Okay, YouTube search.
Absolutely perfect. And brilliant. And you'll see up here we have an automatic media screen. There's these in many of our locations, so they'll pop up for you automatically. They're built in. But it's very easy to just grab an IFX screen and pop that in. If you want to move the screen, do it somewhere else. We can load in websites. We can also share desktop and load in from the likes of OneDrive, Google Drive, and Dropbox.
Nice.
So, the likes of PowerPoint, PDFs, that kind of thing. And I'm going to show you guys a recording as well, because recording is one of the more interesting features that we offer. So everyone should have seen a little icon pop up for them there, recording started.
Yep.
That was just myself. And basically what happens is we're able to record every avatar, bit of media, IFX that appears in the scene and play it back in full 3D. So if you want to do a recording of a lecture you might give or a training, you can record it in advance, play it back. You can see everything in full. And basically, rather than having to do the same presentation or training over multiple times, you can just give them the file and have them loaded in. So I'm going to stop the recording there, and I'll play that back for us. And you should see a second version of all the avatars here. I'm actually going to clear out the IFX quickly as well, just for the sake of seeing them come back in the recording. And there we go. It should start playing in a second. That was just myself. And basically what happens is we're able to record every avatar, bit of media, IFX that appears in the scene and play it back in full 3D. So if you want to do a recording of a lecture you might give or a training. Perfect. So you can see there, it's just a sample of our recording feature. And we also offer quizzes. So I don't actually have one saved at the moment. I suppose I'm going through it quite quickly. So do we have any questions so far or anything anyone would like to know?
With the recording, say for
Yes.
example, if the user has an avatar which is they have configured with their face, does that appear that way as well, or does it appear?
Sorry, it's just a little bit difficult to hear you at the moment. Could you repeat that for me, please?
Okay, sure. So if a user has an avatar that's customized with your face, would that be recorded as well?
It will indeed.
Okay.
So you can use the My Face feature with that. We can actually show an example of one of the Oxford lectures, if you'd like, that were recorded with Engage, and then they do actually use their own faces for that as well. And it shows off some more what you can do with IFX and our content creation tools.
Right. Is that the one with the cats, the wild cats?
That is one of them. Cedric Tan's talk on the clouded leopards in Malaysia.
That's right. I've seen that. That's very awesome.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I had a question about the recording as well.
Yes, indeed.
So when you do the recording, does it only work as a recording of the three-dimensional scene, or can you also do a like a flat screen recording of the three-dimensional
We
space?
don't have a feature built in for flat screen recording, but it is absolutely possible. We tend to use, for example, if we were to do it, a program called Action that will capture the flat screen.
Okay.
Perfect. And any other questions at the moment, guys? No, perfect. What we can do is we can pop out and we can show off some of our other locations as well. The hub space is quite nice, but a little bit dull. So I'll take you guys over to the surface of Mars and you can have a little bit of an explore if you like. I'll take you over there now. Good stuff. First, you get out of the lander.
Sorry.
Perfect. So, yes, guys, this is Mars. It's one of our bigger environments, good for a bit of exploration. We also have, of course, the rover here. And we can get that to run through some interesting things. First, I decided to do experiments for the moment. I believe, Bill, you actually saw this last time you were in. And the rover will automatically go through just a series of experiments to show off how it would have done so. But don't feel you have to stay here and watch it either. There's a massive landscape, so I can run off up this mountain here. And I will place a large chicken on the top of it. I claim Chicken Mountain for Earth.
Question: so how many people would you say this will accommodate at one time
An
without too
engaged
much?
session will accommodate on, say, the device you're using. You mentioned you're on a Quest, Brian, was that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, perfect. So the Quest might not do as well as, say, the desktop. In terms of if there's a lot of, say, IFX down, purely because it's the Android device. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite have the power yet.
Okay.
But there's definitely improvements being made. Is there anything else I can show off while we're here? Perfect. And we can look. All right, guys, have we got any more questions for ourselves here, or would you like to move on to the next room?
Just out of curiosity, what kind of content are you looking to make? Because that might help us show off certain
That actually
features.
would be good.
Are you doing more lectures, or is it more purely for meetings?
Lessons, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hi, Rose.
Hello.
Because we're revamping our content creator tool. That should be coming out soon, which is going to be really, really cool. I'm actually really excited about that. So we can only show you some of the lessons we currently have in there, because everything was made inside Engage. Because one of the things, see, as the animators, we try and use the tools as much as possible so we know how the user experience works. There's no making it outside of it and importing. We want it to be as usable for everybody, which is why we're doing the update.
Absolutely, actually, Malaysian Cat's lecture was mentioned earlier. Clouded
Yeah, that
Leopard,
was made
Kirsty was actually the one
entirely.
who made that.
Yeah, it took a long time. But it was really fun, like that. And Venus was also Spencer, one of my colleagues, made that, but it turned out really well as well. Like there's so many things you can do in here once it's just you have to think outside the box.
Absolutely. If you guys would like, we can go over for a look at that. Oh, Hans, sorry, you have a question?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I'm afraid we're not hearing any voice at the moment there, Hans. Oh. Someone found F for Freddy.
Can you hear me now?
What we'll do for them. Oh, there we go. Now we have voice coming through.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, indeed.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah,
I was
we
muted.
can.
Okay, good. Yeah. We're planning an exhibition at a museum in Stockholm from autumn, and it's the Ethnographic Museum, and we're going to build a burning kiln. We're based in Japan, so we're going to build a kiln in which people can step inside the fire. So it's a little bit advanced,
Very
I guess.
interesting.
Yeah, and different kinds of pottery and stuff. So it's going to be a sort of location based. But I thought maybe we can use something like this as well.
Certainly. Just as an example, what would be good for this? We'll go to one of the museums, actually. We'll go for the World War I gallery. And we can just give you an example. We have actually got 2 museum-type rooms in here that might just give you an example of what can be done.
Hmm.
And if everyone's okay with that, we'll do a jump over there for a look. Perfect. For getting some ideas. You can see here they have the 3D images on the walls. A couple of props, the cannons, the plane, and I believe there's a helmet over here somewhere. A bit of an unusual shape.
So are those images 3D looking?
They are indeed. They're 3D images.
Awesome. Thank you.
We also have them available, the same gallery, but in Titanic form. And at the back over here, we actually have a selection of media ready to play. So we've got just this big screen at the back and perfect, down this way. So you can see the screen over there, and there's a selection of 7 videos available.
German and British sailors believed their war was going to be a great confrontation of huge battleships. But only once was there a full...
And of course, if you'd like to take a seat while you're watching, there is a couch.
Over 4 long, brutal years, World War I's trench...
If you have any questions as well, guys, just shout. We'll happily answer anything we can.
But to the east, a remarkably different war was fought. A war of movement, of dramatic gains and losses, of huge armies on the march, of terrain which required everything from camels to skis. In this war, one great empire, Austria-Hungary, was destroyed. A second, Russia, was captured by revolution, its royal family murdered. The war on the Eastern Front would reshape the map of Europe forever. Now it can be seen as it really happened, in color.
Alright, guys. I'm just going to pause the media there for the moment. Oh, someone has changed it over the video. Okay. That's all.
1915. For the soldiers on the Western Front, the new year brings stalemate. In the month since World War I began, the invading German army has failed to break through.
So, one of the more interesting things we offer as well, guys, just to keep things going, and in case there's any questions, we actually have a 360 video room available as well. So, if you'd like, we can have a look over at that.
For nearly 4 years, these men will engage in the bitterest
Just regarding the thing you mentioned yourself there about the kiln where you got hands. Perfect.
Yeah.
You mentioned your idea for the kiln. The 360 video might actually be an option for that as well. So I can give you a look. I'm just going to transfer us over there. Okay, hi guys. So this is our 360 room. Oh, we have someone here. Oh, Clement's on the floor. But this is our 360 room, so we can actually just show off full 360 video. We have a selection of them here on the tablet, just as samples, but you can also stream them in from YouTube. So if you were to make a short film, maybe exploring the kiln, you can then have people in, can show it together, so we can have the avatars left on, so we'll all be able to see each other as we go through. Or I can switch them off so it's a more individual experience, so you'll still be able to speak to one another. So just to give you an example of how this goes, we'll put on a video of exploring Angel Falls in Venezuela. I'll pop that on now. And that should be starting up for you. If anyone feels unwell or anything, just let me know as well and I can stop it, because some people don't like this.
Of the Canaima National Park, which has almost no roads. The closest civilized place is 600 kilometers away.
Sorry, could you repeat the question for me, please? It's just a bit hard to hear.
Yeah, sorry. Well, you need a 360 YouTube video for 360.
You can indeed, but you can,
yeah.
so you can create your 360 videos, you can upload them to YouTube, and then you'll be able to play them through here.
Okay, awesome.
There's also a ton of 360 available already on YouTube. So you just want to get some samples, they're usually available as well.
Yeah.
Of the deepest place, or Paracupia Venia, as if falling from the highest points.
Very nice.
If you wanted to have a 360 video, but you also wanted to switch back to a 2D video, then you could just make a screen
Absolutely.
in the 360 room.
I can do that now. I'll actually pull out a
habitat for the jaguars,
and you can see here I've just loaded up a video screen beside me.
Iguanas,
So we have our 2D screen here, but we're also still in the 360 room.
The flora is represented by more than 300 species of
And then if I want to get rid of that,
So
I
if
just
your,
click
current,
delete
your
and away it
content is
goes.
varied.
existing only in this geographic region and nowhere else on the planet.
Absolutely, it just plays via our YouTube player in the 360 room. Although maybe don't look down if you're afraid of heights for a moment. Oh, absolutely, and there's quite a few interesting ones. There's just an example, we have one on Roman gladiators and one on sharks included as well, which can be very interesting. Oh no, absolutely.
To find a single undamaged tree on the top of the plateau due to constant lightings heated during thunders.
Of course, whereas with us as host, you could just transfer the room, start the video, and everyone's there.
The waterfall in Venezuela was made by the Churun River, which literally falls over the edge of the Ollantaypui Table Mountain.
Again, if anyone has any questions, guys, just fire them out. We're happy to answer.
Can we load 360 images in the 360 video room?
The waterfall was open to
I'm not sure on
tourists
images,
in
actually. I'd have to
1990.
double check.
Okay.
But at worst, we'd be able to, maybe stretch it out into a couple of minute video of just a still image at worst. So there would be ways to work around it if it's not. But I will get that checked and come back to you on that one.
This region is one of the
So with your 360, with the 360 or spherical videos that you're playing, the player, will it accept a stream from a live spherical camera, whether that spherical camera is a real camera in the real world or a real camera inside of virtual content?
Well, we can actually live stream into our YouTube player as well. So what I'll do actually now is I'll have a look for a live 360 stream and see what we can do.
So what I'm trying to say is that if I have an environment already in a virtual space, but I have a virtual camera and I can push that virtual live stream or that stream of the virtual camera that's only in the virtual world out to this player, now I can bring multiple people in to see my stream and I can move that around, that virtual camera around my scene. So think of Google Earth VR, which is only a single user kind of capability. But if I could push my spherical camera view out of that, and then now I could do a multi-user kind of experience plus move the camera's position.
Of course, so that would entirely be possible if you were to, just as an example, I'd say stream it to YouTube, and then you stream the live stream into the 360 room. That should be entirely possible.
All right, so as long as I'm streaming to YouTube and I have the URL for the YouTube stream, then it should be okay.
I will, of course, again get this double checked for you, but it is my understanding that that would absolutely work.
Okay.
falling from the height of 800 meters and before reaching ground.
Absolutely. I honestly wasn't sure how they'd managed to film it for quite a while until I eventually I've watched through this one quite a few times. I really like this particular 360. But it took me ages to figure out how they'd done it. I eventually managed to see the shadow of a helicopter once. Oh.
When I saw this the first time, I was looking for someone on the ground controlling a drone. But I don't think there was anyone on the ground.
All right, guys. And just regarding... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Bill. Oh, absolutely. And just regarding the 360 live stream, I've got an answer from our devs there. And as long as it's coming into YouTube, it won't mind. So that is absolutely perfect. You'll be able to stream from YouTube into the 360 room, no problem.
Thanks,
unfortunately, 360 images are still being worked on at the moment, but it is coming down the line. So there is a workaround for the meantime where you can create a video of a still image, but there will be proper 360 imaging coming as well.
Awesome.
Right, guys. And do we have any further questions there, or would you like to have a look at something else?
I have a question.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
As you've been showing some nice 3D models, is it possible, I know you had a library of models, but can you import your own models?
At the moment, we're working on that. We don't have a system to import them yet. but it is coming in the future. Ideally, you'll be able to pop in your 3D model, load it up to your account, and there it'll be. But at the moment, there is, regarding that, I would say the ideal person to speak to is one of our business developers, Chris Madsen. So I have an email for Chris here. I'll just pop it up once more. So anyone who wants it can, oh dear. There we go. So that's just cmadsen@immersive.your-education. And Chris would be able to advise you on uploading your own 3D models and content further.
Okay.
We'll pop that back a little bit so it's easier to read.
You can also just take a picture on your tablet and it'll save to
yes,
your
indeed.
picture folder in your computer.
Let me see how I do that. Is it the media camera?
So on the right-hand side, you'll see camera.
Got it.
And you can also turn it backwards. So I'll tell you what, we'll grab an old selfie.
Yeah.
We'll come over to yourself, Hans, if that's okay. I hope you're smiling. Perfect. Oh.
They're gonna run us over. That horn's awfully close to that camera.
Oh. Hi, Rob. Sorry, Rob. I think I actually missed when you joined. Hi, I'm Darren. I'm part of the
just a
QA
second
team.
ago.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Oh. The rhinos are determined not to let the camera stand.
Darren, I have a question about IFX animations.
Yes, indeed.
So some of the objects, let's say, for example, an aircraft, an airplane, when we put an airplane there, how do we get it to fly from point A to B?
That would actually be using the content creator. Now, Kirsty, you'd be the ideal one to talk you through that one.
The content creator it's available on the main menu. It's currently in development, but you can do it since it is usable since we made all the Oxfords in it. But it allows you to key and time your IFX. So you can have it over here and then over here, and you can have multiple screens, and you can do recordings in, and then you save it as a lesson, and then you can play it back whenever you want. You can bring everyone into the room with you as well then. So it's kind of like a more permanent version of like a scene, because you can call it back to you anytime you want, like a snapshot, but with extra features. Like I live inside the content creator, so it's always my go-to. But yeah, no, you'll be able to key it here, and then you say if you want it to spend 20 seconds to get across the room, you go 20 seconds, set another key, and then when you press play, it'll just repeat.
Right. That said, if you like as well, there's actually the kind of IFX puppetry system. So as I control it, as I move it, you'll see that the rudders or the blades will spin, or you can see the animals moving. But then if I pop it down, it'll hold still for me after it's, for example, landed.
Nice.
You can also record yourself moving them and then turn off the avatar afterwards when you play it back in the content creator, so you'll only see the IFX moving in your hand, which is good for birds and stuff. You just want it to go like this. Then you put it back in again, turn off avatar, and it'll just be the bird moving with your hand. Just really handy. Speed step up.
And it's only the host who can do that, right?
Content creator is... Sorry, Darren.
Oh, no. We actually have one of our head animator, David McDermott, is starting a regular weekly class on teaching the content creator on Thursdays, starting next week as well. So he'd be able to absolutely get you going on that as well if you need any help. Sorry, Kirsty, go ahead.
I think another useful answer is you need a pro account, I believe.
At the moment, you do, because it's still in early development, but it is going to be made public.
And what does it take to get a pro account?
You can subscribe. Darren?
Oh, yeah, sorry. You can subscribe on our website. It's, I believe, about $5 a month. You get a free month as well. So if you want to give it a try, see what you think before you decide. You do indeed. You get your free first month. So you can, if you're not a fan. Although so far I don't think we've had anyone not be a fan. So far anyway. All right, guys. Well, just because we've been discussing the content creator, what I can do is I can load up Malaysian cats or Venus. We'll go Malaysian cats. It tends to be the more interesting visually. And this is actually one that Kirsty created through the content creator for an Oxford lecture. So I'll just load our way over there now. I'll actually unload Cedric for a second just so we can see the room beforehand. So this is actually a recreation of Oxford's Bodleian Library. I never say that word correctly. I say it wrong every time. And I can tell without... All right, but yeah, it's just a recreation of the library there that we use for the Oxford lectures. I'm going to start the lecture playing now. And we should be seeing Cedric fairly shortly. There he is.
The organization aims to achieve practical conservation issue research to visit the fascinating of clouded leopards in Malaysia. Visit the tropical Asia, birds and wonderful beasts. Unfortunately, this is also a common sight. Massive decision. Default occurs for two reasons. One to house for the wood that we use as well as for plantation. Forest occurs to clear land for plantations. Yield, which is found in 15% of our from chocolate, shampoo and soap on the daily day. Malaysia experienced deforestation of the night.
And of course, at any time I can pause as well if I would say be showing this to a class or a group and I wanted to continue on a point that Cedric had made or come over and grab a selfie with him. Let's go, buddy.
In Central, 90% of Insular Malaysia tropical forests. Unfortunate, the turn of 2000, we only have 40% of the left. 2000 to 2000, 80% of the forests have been into oil palm plant and urban. To deforestation, destruction. Homes. We have illegal poaching is in the forest of Malaysia. Come from neighboring country, Myanmar, and they come here to hunt. Not need to sell for.
I really wish you hadn't said that right before that. But that's just to show an example. I can close Cedric off now. That's just to show what can be done with the content creator currently. And there's a new and more powerful version being worked on at the moment too. It also simplifies things a bit. And then I guess just to show off one more location, this is quite a popular one. I will take you guys to the theater just to show some examples of different settings that you can have in some of the rooms. So I'm going to pop us over there now. We've actually got a few different settings here. You'll see Kirsty heading through a door up there. If she wasn't having trouble getting through.
Sorry, it's the room space. You got
I
got
understand.
confused.
Kirsty has the full motion tracking on her at the moment, so she can actually walk around in a full space. And their controls are also available here. So you can adjust the curtains, the lights. I'm not going to hide back behind here. And a few different settings. So we have, settings for giving lectures, for watching movies in kind of a cinema type setting, also for plays. As well as that, some people kind of like the room for if you wanted to do a recording, as we showed off earlier, of yourself. You can then check how you're doing in terms of your own presentation, kind of look back and see how you did, and then adjust accordingly.
Just wait. Yep.
Oh. The guys are having fun with the settings at the moment.
Well, we are.
Hey guys. You can actually see them behind you up in the window. As well as that, if I'm on stage here... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Darren, can you repeat the part about the recording functionality?
Yes, indeed. I'll actually show it off now. I'm just going to record myself. So I don't need to get everyone in the room either if I wanted to have some people there for feedback or anything. Okay, and that recording should be started now. So I can be here on the stage. I can just, if I was to try, for example, giving a presentation, I could run through my presentation here, point out my slides, and basically then once I'm done, stop that, watch it back, see how it looked from a sort of outside perspective. So I'm going to stop this recording now, and I'm going to load it back in, and I'm going to watch myself doing what I just went through there. On the stage, I can just, if I was to try, for example, giving a presentation, I could run through my presentation here, point out my slides, and basically then once I'm done, stop that, watch it back, see how it looked from a sort of outside perspective. So I'm going to stop this recording now. And I just watched that next to you as well. That's just an example of one of the uses of the recording function, as well as, being able to pass on lessons or events to friends. And let's see, is there anything else there?
You want to try?
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, it's just point and click, and it'll trigger the different states.
Hey.
Oh, that one's already there.
Okay.
Oh.
What is that?
External volume, I think.
Oh.
Perfect. And this is just showing off that we have a few rooms that do similar things with different settings, so we can kind of change the feel of the room to suit what we want to do here. Is there anything else? Do we have long left? We have about 10 minutes left. Is there any questions or anything you guys have for the last 10 minutes, or anything you'd like to have another look at? That's right. Kirsty is actually using the Vive trackers at the moment.
Oh, they're not turned on at the moment.
Oh, you don't have them on? Sorry, I thought you were using them still.
You get to see me move a bit more. No, they're not turned on at the moment. But yeah, they are just the Vive trackers. You need 3. You need 1 for each foot and then 1 for the waist. And then when you turn on engage, if they're all activated, then it automatically picks them up and asks, do you want to do advanced tracking? It's very simple that way. And then you just calibrate and you're set. We did them for all of the Oxfords. They were all recorded in engage with the trackers. which is really handy. It's a lot quicker than having to clean up animation afterwards because it's just live. And we can sometimes you can put you can watch your performance and go, maybe I'll try that again, which is nice as well.
Oh, that's very nice.
A cheap alternative to motion capture.
Yeah, it's so much quicker because if you were going to do a half an hour lecture, it wouldn't take a week of cleanup and extra animation. You did a half an hour lecture, it's complete, it's all there. It's a big time saver.
What hardware do you need to do this? Is the Vive trackers and lighthouses? Or?
Yeah, we currently I'm using the
PlayStation.
Vive Pro, which has 4 lighthouses and then the 3 trackers. But I think you can also do it with just the Vive and the 2 lighthouses. But I haven't done that in a while.
Not since we gave you your own space.
No, I'm going to stay with the Vive Pro.
Just to advise as well, guys, I don't know if you're aware, but
Sorry,
Steve
Darren, your
Bamber...
voice cut out.
Oh, my apologies. I don't know if you guys are aware, but we actually have another event on in Engage at 4 o'clock today, about 10 minutes time, where Steve Bambury will be presenting. Steve is one of our business devs, and he'll be able to advise further on some more of the features and the like.
Would it be possible to see the museum again?
Certainly. We also have it available in a Titanic variant if you'd prefer.
As long as it has 3D pictures.
Absolutely. We'll transfer over to the Titanic gallery. So, and this should also have the 3D images.
The model is available on PC, is it?
It is. It's PC only at the moment, unfortunately, because of how large the model is. We found that it was just causing trouble for the Quests. Now we're hoping that they'll have maybe a smaller version cut down and put in for the Quest version. But it's just going to take a bit of work to get it in there. So we'll wait in the gear.
I've seen it on the PC, and there's like tiny people walking on the ship. Is that what it is?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, okay.
And you'll also occasionally hear a little bit of music coming from it. See if anyone is on PC, you can actually see the musicians, I believe.
I think it's that. Yeah, there he is. It's a tiny violin.
Okay, and is there any other questions anyone has, or anything they'd like to see?
So with a room that is set up like this, if I were to add in media, would it play there?
Yes, indeed. It should play there, or alternatively, I'm just going to plot it on any video right now. I'm just pulling a random video from YouTube now. Let's see. What does it recommend me? So you'll see here the media screen will pop in automatically, but in your IFX menu, there's also a category for video screens. So I can pop down a video screen anywhere I wish, and I can scale it to the size I like.
So Darren, how often are you guys hosting schools?
Pause this for now. Oh.
Yeah, Darren, how often are you guys hosting schools to do just like this? Hey, we're going to walk you through and show you what Titanic, looked like, and here's some pictures from it and all that kind of. How often is that happening?
It happens weekly every Wednesday, but we've actually got 3 on this week as well. That would be yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
And so these are scheduled times that schools or tours are set, and anybody can jump in that has
Yes, indeed. It's a completely open session. Anyone can come in and learn. And it is from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Irish time.
It is more of a tutorial on how to use Engage at the moment rather than guided tours of specific locations.
Okay, that's good. All right, and so on the Engage site has that information for that schedule and everything, right?
It does indeed. You'll find it under our events page.
And you guys are doing it regardless of somebody coming in saying, I want to do it. You're still going to be in there at that time ready for people that come in.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Excellent.
Hi.
Oh.
Hi.
See you again. As well as that, just because I wasn't sure how many of you heard it earlier, but we have our content creator lessons starting from next Thursday regularly. Okay, perfect. All right, good. Do we have any other questions or anything? Not at the moment. A quiet crowd today.
No, I'm good. No questions.